I live on Dalston Lane, and it has a very high proportion of social housing, and it's very, compared to some of the roads, densely populated. On the roads where the traffic was pushed, I also noticed that there were a lot of schools and nurseries. Now this concerned me. 30 years I spent teaching, and all of a sudden I started thinking about the school across the street from me, which is where I actually did my first teaching practice when I was training to be a teacher. Virtually every school that was experiencing an increase in traffic and pollution levels, congestion, they had an intake that was more disadvantaged. To me, it became a really big concern in terms of what people were living on these roads and which children and young people were attending schools on these roads. So now the policy was not to tackle where there was a problem, it was to make that problem worse and to gift even cleaner air to those who already had it. To me, this is not the Labour Party. It's not the Labour Party that I can vote for, and I will never vote Labour on a local level again until their policy changes, because this is environmental classism and environmental racism. They were vulnerable to the Green Party, I noticed, in the last election, so 4 years ago. So we decided to stand as independents as part of something called the Independent Network. So I think there were 11 of us all together. Most of us had met each other through the anti-LTN campaign. We didn't have any money. We had no headquarters. My living room was campaign headquarters. What we did do, and what I was very clear that I wanted to do, was to have at least one candidate in the 2 wards where Labour were vulnerable to the Greens. We know that we were never going to take votes from the Greens, and we knew that if we took enough votes from Labour, we could help the Greens get seats, and that's exactly what they did. And there's a councillor whose name is Peter, a former councillor now, from Dalston, named Peter Snell, and I knew he was the most vulnerable, and he is benefiting. He lives on a small road, that is benefiting from LTNs, and I'm really pleased he lost his seat. I mean, I felt as happy about him losing his seat and Labour losing in Hackney Downs as I did for, had one of us actually won. It was a joy for Labour to lose. They're pandering to people who already have so much and don't care, people who are turning a blind eye to the harm that this policy is doing, and that's what I can never forgive.